Hello and welcome to something different. This is the launch of my new YouTube channel. You may recognize me from the Ealing Road podcast, the Brentford podcast that a few of my mates and I set up back in 2022. This is something that I've always wanted to do. I'm fairly new to it. I mean, I work in the industry, so I'm used to being on camera and talking into the camera. But in terms of just being on my own and speaking to what hopefully becomes a relatively big audience, that is something I'm quite new to. Obviously, the podcast has been so much fun, 2 episodes a week, opposition previews, full-time analysis, exclusive interviews. That has just been a bundle of joy to do, and we absolutely love all the positive comments that we get, and when we see people at the games, it's fantastic. So whilst you're at it, shameless plug, do go, if you're new to this channel somehow and you've not come over from the Ealing Road podcast account, do go and subscribe to that. Follow us on Twitter at the Ealing Road, Instagram at Ealing Road Pod, at the Ealing Road podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, wherever you get your podcasts. But this is something that I've wanted to do for a really long time. The aim of this channel is to bring Brentford fans immediate reaction to news. For the time being, it's probably just going to be Brentford related, but who knows, in the future we might start talking about the Premier League, about wider football in general. It just depends on the kind of response I get from the audience. But at the moment, I'm keeping it Brentford. So for example, yesterday we got the news that Ivan Toney is moving from Brentford to Saudi Arabia. That is something that I've kind of had in the pipeline for a while in terms of the video that I want to make. I'm going to kind of timeline Toney's time at Brentford, going from right back when he signed all the way up to the present day and including all the drama in between. So yeah, that's the kind of video that I can do on this channel. Immediate reaction, just talking into a camera for 5 or 10 minutes, and yeah, hopefully should be a lot of fun. In terms of what else you can expect, transfer news, immediate reaction to newsy snippets, possibly full-time reaction, and yeah, it's still, the podcast is still going to be there, so don't worry about that. We're still going to be doing 2 episodes a week on there, so this isn't going to affect that at all. This is just something that I've always wanted to do, and hopefully, depending on the response and the audience, that it can something that can grow. I think that's the main thing. The one thing that I want from this video is just to say welcome. This is going to be something new going forward, but please, 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 if you can, subscribe to the button below, turn the notifications on. Follow me on my socials. I'm at MikeJ_24 on Twitter. I am going to be doing short form content as well on my TikTok, which is the same handle as this YouTube channel. It's at MikeLivein5. And that's hopefully going to be something a little bit more raw, something a little bit more authentic in terms of probably wider football news on there. But in terms of Brentford, I want to keep this channel Brentford for the moment. So anything that's happened, whether that be profiles on our new signings, whether you want to know where or how Gustavo Nunes fits into our system, how highly is he rated, maybe I'll get some guests on. The scope for this is pretty large at the moment. So that's why I'm really excited about it. I feel like it's done right and done consistently. I feel like it's got some room to grow, because there's definitely not a Brentford YouTuber. I don't know if I've been doing it for long enough to call myself that, but there isn't someone like that in the space as far as I can tell. So yeah, I think I should give a bit of background on myself as well, if you don't sort of know me from the podcast. I work in football, so I like to think that kind of helps me in terms of the production of the podcast. It would definitely help me in terms of the production of this YouTube channel, kind of editorially, production wise as well. So everything that I've done sort of in my work life so far is kind of running in tandem with what I do on the podcast, what I will hopefully do on here. So I feel like they can work together, and there's definitely a good blend. So yeah, this is the first time I've done sort of speaking into the camera on my own. I did one after the Liverpool game, swinging around, as you'll know if you came over from the podcast. That's still going to happen. The immediate post-match reaction is still going to be there. But this is just something a bit different. And like I said, something I've wanted to do for a very long time. So if you could help me, please do hit the subscribe button below. There is more content to come. There are more videos to come, more shorts to come. There's going to be a lot. I'm starting to ramp this up now. And I hope that you will enjoy what is to come. So yeah, if you want to see more of this, please do hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, and a link to all of my socials, all the Ealing Road podcast socials, will be in the comments section. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that was an okay start. I promise I'll get better as time goes on. And yeah, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.